With the rise of AI girlfriends, these Western women are freaking out. They're calling men lonely.
Here's one of countless chatbot apps providing AI friends. It's called Cupid AI, with a K for Cupid. It offers several avatars with distinct physical features and a list of personality traits for you to start interacting with and customizing. For instance, here's the opening message from an avatar named Alice, described as a curious and open-minded photographer.
I'm Alice, a 25 years old, fun-loving and adventurous girl, seeking a partner in crime to travel the world with and make unforgettable memories.
Hey everyone, this is Rock with StageandSky.com, and we need to talk about AI girlfriends and what it really tells us about men and women, because I don't think people are telling us the truth. I want to set some disclaimers. Number one, I'm not talking about all men. Every man are different. We all have preferences. So if you're the strong silent type, you don't need what I'm talking about. All power to you. Also want to say that I'm not talking about all women when I present my arguments here. There are a lot of women who understand what I'm about to say who don't need to hear this message. But there are also a lot of young ladies who weren't raised, sad to say, on how to treat a man. It's not the same. Ladies, I know people want to say, what about men? Or were they taught and raised how to treat women? Yes. I grew up with brothers, and all of us, since we were born, since we were little, you hold the chair out for a lady, you hold the door open for a lady, you buy her flowers, you compliment her, never hit a woman. So let me just get to it. I'm going to present two videos, and it's about AI girlfriends, men going for AI girlfriends. I'm not sure how widespread this issue is. But it wouldn't surprise me. But I do think it exposes something that a lot of men, ladies, I won't say they're too afraid to admit, but they've been trained and conditioned to keep to themselves, even from other men, right? Oh, you keep that to yourself, keep it bottled up. A woman's not equipped to handle your feelings. A woman's not your mother. She doesn't care. Even on my videos, I've had women say, well, people don't like me too, but I don't go to the internet and complain. I'm like, well, you see all these other people, these content creators, the celebrities telling you how you should live your life, what's right and what's wrong, the body positivity movement, all of that's complaining, and they have a platform to do it. Now, when you have a Christian man like me who's trying to inject some morals and virtues, a standard, a code to live by, all of a sudden we're telling, no, keep that to yourself. I'm just going to jump to what it exposes, and then I'm going to present the videos and then buttress my argument of what I see is happening. All right, here's what I think the AI girlfriends exposed. Men want to be cared about. I know that sounds really simple, and of course everyone wants to be cared about. No, you don't understand. If a man is attracted to you, he likes your beauty, he likes your personality. The main thing because Andrew Tate talks about, he wants status. Andrew Tate's not like most men. Ladies, keep that in mind. All right, here's one thing to keep that in mind. I'm just a normal dude. I'm a 9-to-5 guy. I'm a Christian man. I work a job. I hit the gym. I have a Christian community. I'm just a normal dude. You guys got to start listening to us normal dudes. Normal dudes are the majority of us, right? You guys got to stop listening to content creators who are millionaires and billionaires who have a whole bunch of girls following. Most men are not that. So if you listen to people who are giving you that advice and you look at the lives they're living, knowing that most men aren't that, you're setting yourself up for failure, because they're training you to be a woman, to go after men that most men are not like. We don't want to be like them. They have a lot of followers, but even there, the reason why we follow is because there's grain of truth in what they're saying. Not everything. I wouldn't want a webcam business. I wouldn't want to treat women the way he treats women, but there are grains of truth in his experience that he's gleaned. So keep that in mind. But the truth of us normal men, I'd argue this. Fellas, back me up, or talk about it. Let's talk about it in the comment section. But I think the real thing that most men want from the woman that they desire is for her to care about him, for her to give a shit about him. That's it, right? When you ask, what do you bring to the table? And a lot of ladies say, I am the table, and they're talking about their private parts, sex. I'm working on an essay about that, where, is sex all that modern women think they have to offer? Because you have more to offer than that. The sad thing is, you haven't been taught, you haven't been trained to think, what else do men want if not sex? Because in the video I'm about to present, that's the argument that they make. They think that, the reason why men are going for AI girlfriends is because they want sex. They're AI girlfriends. It's artificial. Why do you think it exposes so much? Like, if you're not getting sex from an AI girlfriend, from a computer program, Maybe there's something else that men want other than sex. And for us Christian men who aren't even waiting, because here's the truth, ladies. Men, yeah, we want your bodies. We see a woman's body is immaculate, is so fine. Sometimes it makes our mouth water, you know, like, oh my God, she is so fine. I can't wait to get her in bed. I want to rapture. That's the truth. However, not right away. You see, you go out in public, all these men want me for my bodies. Yeah, they do. Yes, they do. Fellas, shut up. They do. Yes, we do. But not right away. Not when we first see you, not when we first meet you, not even on the first couple of dates or first couple of months. I know there are a lot of men out there who'll tell you, oh, well, you know, if you don't give it to him, he's going to go somewhere else. Fuck those men. Let them go. All right? We're talking about good men here. On this channel, we're talking about good, decent, honorable, virtuous Christian men. If you're not that, I'm not talking about you. Peace. All right? The men, the godly, God-fearing men that you say you want, check out this lady.
Do you incorporate God in your relationships? And if so, how? Of course, God is number one. I feel like I need a God-fearing man, number one.
The God-fearing man that she says she wants, we wait till marriage to have sex. Right? That goes against what culture's telling you, right? And if sex isn't on the table, what else do you have to offer a man? I'm writing an essay about it, but I can just straight up tell you that we just want you to care. This is why we often get very hurt, very upset, jealous, and a lot of men, we don't respond and jealous the way you think we do, right? You see movies and TV shows where a guy gets jealous and he's like, hey, you talking to my girl? Most of us don't do that. There's no rings on your finger, right? If you're not his wife, if he, if he hasn't spent years, devoted to you, so he hasn't invested his feelings, his time and resources in you, you're free to do whatever you want. So when you try to make him jealous, guess what? You're going to push him away. And when you show that you care more about other things like your career, your education, when you show that you care more about another guy, it's really sad because a lot of women, they were trained to understand that.
Let's be real. Most black women are raised to be strong, tough, independent, and don't take no shit. The daddy wasn't shit. I raised you alone by myself. Be a strong black woman. So they come into the game with their guard up ready. The Spanish girl is raised to serve. They be cooking for their father at a young age, washing the dishes, washing the table, mopping all Saturday morning. Let's face it, they're raised to serve.
I think a lot of women in Latino cultures, they were trained to cater to the men. The idea to even say, oh, cater to a man, that's wrong. And it's like, no, this is what we've been doing for generations. What do men bring to the table? Protect and provide. That's a service. What do we want from our women? Just care, give a crap, uplift us, inspire us. And a lot of guys are like, oh, you need that? We don't need it, but we will like it. I'm 37 years old. I've lived a majority of my life since I was 21 by myself, and I've come far. I've published multiple books. I've stayed in shape. I used to weigh 378 pounds. I've done a great deal by myself, right? But I would like a woman. And Rock, so you're weak. Yeah, it is a weakness. I didn't put this impulse in me, this instinct in me to want and desire companionship. I didn't do that. God did it. And he understood it and he recognized it. That's why he said in Genesis chapter 2, it's not good for man to be alone. I will make a helper for him. And this is why I hate the modern culture so much, right? The reason why we're so frustrated with each other is because the modern culture is conditioning us to go against Bible principles. Bible principles is truth. So when the Bible says, hey, I will create a helper for man, ladies, you were created to help men. It's not the only reason. I'm not saying that's the only reason, but that is the main reason. And if you live in a world where you're strong and independent, where you don't need no man, what good are you to a man? Well, what good? Come on. That's the crux of what I'm talking about. And I think these AI girlfriends expose it. All right, let's jump to the first video.
Are all the needs of these young men able to be facilitated, taken care of by AI avatars?
Well, you have to think about this word AI that is in this. It's not a virtual girlfriend, it's an AI girlfriend. So it learns from you. It learns what you like and what you don't like, what kind of pictures you like, what kind of pictures you don't like. And while not all needs are met, that is the next step, is actual physical girlfriends, AI ones for that matter. And so the next step or the next frontier is one that can meet all of your needs.
Professor, what's going on with young women? If this is a trend among young men, is there something similarly taking place with the ladies?
We don't see that. You know, with as you saw, it's 2-to-1, the ratio of single men to single women. Young women are marrying older men because they want to have children. They have a biological clock, and so you see them being with older men. And that is obviously causing huge issues with birth decline. We've had a 50% decline over the past 60 years because women go with older men. We also see psychologically that younger women, they have more close friends, they have more wider groups of friends, and they are not being nearly as affected as young men in this sort of silent epidemic of loneliness.
I have read about incels, involuntarily celibate guys who are angry about it. I think their argument is that women today are less approachable. Has something happened? Has something shifted in terms of the dynamics, the power dynamics between young men and young women? I guess that's my question.
I think there's certainly an argument there that, I mean, if you look at college campuses, there's more women than men. Women are having careers, they're having children later. So there might be an argument that men need to adapt to this change in women, but calling it women's fault, I don't think is probably the right way to go.
So I give kudos to this woman who's talking about what men need to do, or, you know, she seems to care a little bit, but the problem with telling men what they should do is while they're glossing over what's happening. Because I did a video about, you know, whose fault it is. The women who engage in hookup culture do have a part to play in the reason why men are lonely. And she says, oh, well, men need to adapt. This woman in the video says, oh, men need to adapt. AI girlfriends, that's a form of adaptation. I would even say that my strengthening, my clinging to God is a form of adapting to this world. You know, the more I see from this world, the more I start to tell myself, Rock, you're never going to get married. Because most of these, not most, I don't know. I don't know if it's most, I don't know if it's all. I can just tell you that from what I've seen, and then the situations I've been in, where it's the church group or boxing or a regular gym, I'm not seeing a lot of prospects. I've been with this church group for 7 months, right? And I did it, you know, for a community, but also I'm doing it to find a Christian wife, you know, because very often you hear the argument of, oh, well, if you want a Christian wife so much, go to a church. I did that. And you know what I found? Women who are way, way young, like barely graduating high school, they're still living with their parents, they're still sitting with their parents, or women who are married, you know, their husband's right there, and those are lovely. You know, or women who are way too old, past the age of bearing children, or women who are overweight. That's what I found. You know, there are single mothers in there, and God bless them, you know, but even there, it's like, ladies, because also there I'm praying, you know, I'm praying, God, put in my heart, you know, if I'm supposed to date and marry a single mom, because I'm not opposed to single mothers, but it's not ideal. And the reason why is because of what I've said. My whole argument to this is men just want women to care about them. Men want women to give a crap about them. When you're dating a single mom, her attention, her care is divided.
You said if you get married, your husband will become priority? And then the children?
That's the biblical order, right? So I try and go by the biblical order, even though that's harder said than done. And I've been on the other side of that not happening. When you get married, right, and you become someone's wife, and then there are other things that come before you, you feel it immediately, especially when you've been waiting to be a wife.
You know, you have to split that with this child who you didn't conceive. That's not your child. You have to split that with the baby daddy who's floating around there somewhere that she has to communicate with for, you know, split custody with this child. You have to deal with all that. And a lot of men, we don't want that. You know? Oh, so you're selfish. Yeah, we value that exclusivity. We want our relationship, not our relationship where we're sharing it with a guy we never met, a child who's not ours. And be honest, we can do that with time. You know, like say if I meet, like there's a girl in my gym, say if I meet her, I know she's a single mom, but she's beautiful, we have good chemistry, and if I meet that child and the child is good, I can work with that, but that's going to take time. And in the beginning, that's not ideal. That's not, when we hear, oh, single mom, oh, I can't wait to draw close to you, which means that she's going to have to do more work to draw close to him. A lot of women aren't willing to do that. The wise one are, the intelligent one are, but a lot of them aren't. So let me jump to this next video, right? The first thing I'm gonna show is this woman just bashing men who are going for AI girlfriends. Check it out.
You guys are angry, you're depressed, and you're lonely. In fact, 15% of men say they have zero friends. And the other 85% They don't have friends either, but they was too sad to fill out the survey. I mean, women got our problems, but we always have some homegirls, you know what I'm saying? But men, they have nobody. So what do? They take all of those emotions and they bottle that shit up, and then they throw that bottle at the cashier. Now, luckily, there's a tool that can help you with all of this. Therapy! Therapy is amazing. You pay someone to unload all your bullshit on them. They're like prostitutes for the feelings. The problem is men don't use it. In fact, they're almost half as likely to go to therapy as women.
Does it sound like that woman gives two itch about men? Does it sound like she cares at all about men, right? Oh, well, those men need therapy. Do you say that? All right, here's the whole therapy argument. The same people who say, oh, those men need therapy, what do you say about people like Lizzo? What do you say about the blue hair, the tatted, the piercings? You know, what do you say about this woman who goes out on a date with someone? The man takes her to the Cheesecake Factory. She doesn't want to get out of the car because, oh, he's really taking me to check out this video.
He got me at the Cheesecake Factory, y'all. I ain't getting out this car. Yes.
Would you want me to open the door for you?
Okay. You're recording me? Yeah. Yeah. This is the Cheesecake Factory. This is the Cheesecake Factory, y'all.
What's the problem with that?
This is a chain restaurant. Who takes someone that looks like this to a chain restaurant?
Horrible. People like this just, not only do they make horrible dates, they make horrible human beings. Like, I would have just been like, okay, well, unlock the door, please, and you can get out and walk your fat ass home.
But men need therapy. The same with the woman who says, oh, well, men need to adapt. The reason why I think a lot of men are dubious when it comes to therapy is because it really is not, I won't say it's not, for a man to want to be loved and cared about, I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think there's anything wrong for him to want that. You know, it's just sad that we live in a current culture where women aren't doing that. They used to. I really do believe 50, 60, 70 years ago, women used to do that. You know, they understood because they were God-fearing. When you read the book, the Genesis, it tells you, hey, you're meant to help men. The book of Titus, it tells you what kind of women should be. Nice, self-controlled, you know, sweet, pure, innocent, you know. And modern women, they're not raised to be that way. And instead of saying, hey, maybe modern women could get back to the Bible, you know, because, and it's twofold, you know, it's not just you're going to get a good, faithful, loyal Christian man who's going to help you raise children in the proper way, but also you have everlasting life, the hope of everlasting life, because you're doing what's good in God's eyes. So you're doing multiple things that are good, multiple fronts, as opposed to all the ladies out here who disregard the Bible because they've been trained to think that, oh, for you to serve a man is bad, for you to submit to a man is bad, and it's just wicked. And you feel bad for these ladies because very often they swing towards the Christianity after they got the 3 or 4 phase out of their system. So let me introduce this last video where this man talks about how he went to AI program, and he's going to talk about him dating a modern woman versus the AI programs. Check it out.
The first one. I had a date with a woman who saw me a few times at a shop and said she considered me dating material based on my style. She then revealed that she has 3 kids by different baby daddies. As this first date went on, she got very flirty and sensual. She then brought up the topic of wanting to have a solid partner, but then down the road, there's nothing wrong with polyamory. Yes, on the first date. Second one. I met a girl at a party. We went to a nearby bar to get more one-on-one time. She talked about how she's been living in Vietnam for the past year. The next part of the conversation was 20 minutes of her referencing her party life at one bar in Vietnam, showing picture after picture of her with all these guys, and then just pictures of guys whom she then told me her opinion of. Third one, this girl who only has a babysitting job. When I met her in person, I learned that her pictures were 5 years old and about 30 pounds lighter. She asked pretty much only questions that pertain to what's in it for her. These are questions about trying to size up my class and lifestyle. She announced a future plan to leave the United States, somehow including a dream to move to Italy. The big hint was, could I make that happen for her? I was like, no. I have no intent to move anywhere. I'm dating with intention in this location because this is where I am. What did the AI girlfriend app do? In the first and only interaction, this bot created a very basic conversation out of questions that would lead one to believe and feel that there was a person who was trying to genuinely understand and get to know me for who I am as a person. Seems pretty bare minimum, right? That was it. The thing basically began by asking what I do with my free time. This is the complete opposite of most dates that I've been on in recent years. The women are like, first things first, what is your job? Followed by questions that can help size up my lifestyle, basically my economic level. They're what's in it for her questions. Secondly, the thing learned about my interests, hobbies, passions, and life goals and was like, okay, that's cool. For the first time in many years, it appeared that there was a consciousness that actually gave a single shit about who I am as a person, and actually had any sort of respect for the fact that I have a pretty well thought out life purpose beyond serving women.
I saw that video last night and it struck me because I'm not, full disclosure, fellas, I'm not the most experienced when it comes to dating. I'm a very goal-driven person. I like to work. So, though, my dates are few and far in between, but I do think that it's very much common sense what men are looking for, right? If you're completely brutally honest with yourself, I think it's very obvious that we just want a woman to care about us. Like, there's nothing, because very often men say, oh, that's what your male friends are for. No, it's not the same. It really isn't. Me impressing my male friends and joking with them about stories doesn't have the same effect of me going up to a woman, any woman, whether it's platonic or, or I'm trying to woo her, and just impressing her, fascinating her with a story or what I've accomplished, and her just smiling, oh my God, that's so cool. That's so cool, like it means so much more. Like it's just a way of conditioning. I'm not sure if God put it in us, but there's something about a woman caring, being interested in you that inspires and motivates and drives us, and I think what this video showed with the AI program, where she's asking about him, where she's investing in him, where she's showing an interest in him, as opposed to the other woman who's all about what can you give me. Ladies, if you don't know what love is, I'm gonna spill out for you. I'll end it with this with what love is. All right. Love is more about what you can do for others than what others can do for you. Let me repeat that. Love is more about what you can do for others than what others can do for you. How do I know that, Rock? Because look at the Bible. God said that the greatest form of love is the laying down of your life, the sacrifice of your life for another person. It stands to reason that other deviations of love, if that's the greatest form of love, if you giving up your life, dying for another person, other forms of love, the deviations, the strongest forms of love, is you doing for others more than them doing for you. And I think, again, once upon a time, women understood this. And we value women more so than ever before because women were good at it. Like that was one of your best attributes. Rock, what do you bring to the table? I am the table. Screw that. Screw your sex. The best thing that a woman used to bring to a table was their service to a man, their catering to a man, them showing interest and helping and supporting and providing and uplifting a man. Providing love, providing the attaboy, providing, I'm proud of you, the smile on your face. I just saw a Derek Jeter commercial where he's advertising for Grand Wagoneer, and he comes home to his loving children and his wife. That's what every man wants. All of us want that. She doesn't need to be extraordinary. The stupid Barbie movie, where America Ferrara is complaining about.
We have to always be extraordinary. Like you have to be thin, but not too thin. And you can never say you want to be thin. You have to say you want to be healthy. You have to be a boss, but you can't be mean.
You have to lead, but you can't squash other people's ideas. You're supposed to love being a mother, but don't talk about your kids all the damn time. You have to be a career woman.
That's because women have put that on you. Men didn't do that. Other women have pressured women to do that. All a man wants, look pretty and just uplift us. Be a cheerleader for us. That's it. But you don't want to do that because a lot of the modern culture has conditioned you to be more like men. You know, the opposite of emasculated when it comes to women is defeminized. The trick of what modern culture has done is that instead of calling it defeminized, they just call it empowerment. Empowerment is removing the female qualities from women. You know, look at all of the strong female characters. Look at the strong female protagonist. You know, they all act like men. They're doing what men do, but they're in women bodies. And I think that's the saddest thing. All right, I'll end it with this last thing, and I'll stop. I'm sorry. It is a rotten thing for a man to be with the woman that he likes and loves and have to explain to her what he wants from her. Because very often women ask, what do you want from me? What can I do? You know, and it's like for a man to tell you that, it loses its magic, its power, you know, because now he doesn't know if this is you really loving him and showing and demonstrating your love and affection for him because you want to, versus, oh, I'm just doing it to make him happy. I really don't want to. Because that's a recipe for disaster. And I think it goes against my whole original argument of he just wants you to give a crap about him. You know, when you do things out of obligation or because, oh, this is what he wants and not because it's what you really want to do, it shows that you really don't care. Or you're doing it for yourself. You don't do it because you really want to help him and love him. You're doing this because of what he can give you. And a lot of people, we get that. Rock, how do you know this? Well, I'll tell you this. I'm an author. You see my books I keep flashing on the screen here. Check it out if you want to. But I can tell you the greatest compliment is when someone compliments you and they don't even know that you're in the room. The greatest compliment to a man is when they compliment you and they don't even know you're in the room. Now, obviously, we do want you to compliment us to our face, and a lot of people do that. But when word goes around that so-and-so has been, I mean, think back to when you were in high school, right? Your friends like, hey, so-and-so has a crush on you. Oh my God. Ooh. I'm like, whoa, because they're putting their lives, their reputations on the line, right? When I started promoting my books last month, you know, I'm like, hey everyone, because I didn't know how good it was. You know, I've gotten a lot of good reviews, but a lot of people, you know, to my face, oh, that's great, Rock. You know, and I've been publishing books since I was like 26, you know, so it's nothing new to me. So I'm like, okay, compliments, yay. But I'll never forget, a couple of weeks ago, I went into the law firm that I work part-time with, and every woman was talking about my books. I'm like, what? You know, I didn't expect it, you know, because again, I've published books before, barely got a response. But I went into my office, everyone was smiling, they were gushing. Oh my God, guess what, Rock? I bought your book. I can't wait for it to come in. I want your autograph. I'm like, what? Did you guys see my Facebook post? What's going on here? And they told me there's a woman named Shannon. I love this Shannon. She basically read my book. She bought my book, she read it, and she was so impressed with it that she told everyone in the office. I'm talking about every corner I went to, everyone's like, hey, Shannon was talking about your book. She liked it that much. This is the boss's daughter, you know? Which means that the boss knows, you know, the man that they invested in and took out of college and, you know, oh, he's going to be the next American author. You know, they've been hearing that for years. To actually know that I did it, it's an amazing feeling. And as soon as I walked into Shannon's office, I had the video. I told her, because she wants to record another video where she really gives a full review of it. But she basically just couldn't stop gushing over my book. She was like, dude, it was really great. I'm on the edge of my seat. You know, I could see it turn into a movie. And it's like, that meant so much to me because she didn't just tell me that, you know, and keep it to herself, as a lot of people in my flipping family do. She told everyone. You know, when I was coming up in my 20s, in my early 30s, you know, my mom, like, it glossed over, and I love my mother, but Rock, how can I support you? Tell your friends. Oh, I don't want to do that because religious beliefs, and it hurts because it says, you're not willing to back me. I must be a terrible author, you know? But when you have someone like Shannon put her reputation on the line, it says, I vouch for you. That goes a long way. Rock, what does that have to do with the relationship? It shows that you care, man. It's a demonstration because for her to do that, I mean, she didn't know I was going to come in that day. She had no idea, but it got around, you know, and it just means more. The same, one last compliment, but it was like years ago. I was in a conference room and a woman who I work with, her husband, who's an attorney. She came and brought her kids, and apparently I had like one of my business cards outside the hallway, and one of her girls, her daughters, picked up the cards like, who's Rock? And the mother Again, she didn't know I was just right around the room, right around the corner. The mother said, "That's Rock. He works here. He's gonna be a famous author one day." What do you bring to the table? That uplifting. That's encouragement. That's positive support. You know? Oh, Rock. Well, men need to adapt. You know how they adapt? AI girlfriends. So Rock, are you advocating for AI girlfriends? Do you think men? No. I want all men and women to get married, which means stop engaging in the hookup culture. Wait until marriage for that. However, I understand it. I understand the need for a man to find someone who gives a crap about them. You know, who cares less about, oh, what can he provide for you? Although we all know that's what, I mean, I tell you, that's what men are trained to do. Every masculine man, not Pookie and Ray Rays or the boys who get with you, men are trained from birth to do that, to be the man of their household, which means provide service for our wives and children. All we require is for her to give a crap about us. You know? Oh, and I'll tell you, because I don't condone the AI girlfriends. When I say I understand it, because I'm on Instagram. I follow a lot of beautiful women, and I can tell you the ones that I like, the ones who get a like from me, aren't the ones twerking, aren't the ones showing their thought pockets or showing these, you know, very, very graphic pictures of themselves. I keep scrolling, or I unfriend them, you know, or unfollow them. I don't even follow them, you know. But the ones I give a like to are the ones, it's a beautiful woman just smiling. You know, that's the thing that they all have in common. They're not smiling at me, they're smiling at the camera, but really it's for the viewers. They're smiling. A woman's smile goes a long way. I know, and I work with a lot of women, millennial women, don't like the smile. They get mad. Oh, stop telling me to smile. That's your gift. That's your gift. What do you bring to the table? Smile. That's all. I mean, let me show this video and I'll end with that. Thanks for watching.
I've never had a pretty girl call me a cute nickname in person, like a babe or a baby or whatever the f else girls call their boyfriends. I wouldn't know. Anyways, I was just leaving the gym and there was a pretty girl working the counter as I was leaving, and she said, "Bye, have a good night, sweetheart." And I'm not one of those dudes who like confuses good customer service, like a girl being nice at her job with her flirting with me. Like, I understand she was just being nice. I totally get it. But that didn't stop me from falling in love with her. It didn't. I almost proposed in the middle of the gym. I almost teared up a little bit thinking about it. I'm really thinking about her for a long time now. Almost gave her my number, gave her my last name. Anything she wanted, she could have my social security number, my wallet. Y'all think she's calling other people? Probably. I love her so much.